Okay, the first site that I'm going to walk you through, Beth Patterson. What I want you to notice is that she has numerous specialties right up here, 4 of them: grief and loss, depression, trauma, and anxiety. So someone coming to the site could choose any one of these and go right to a page that talks about that issue. Okay. Now, the other thing is on that page, for instance, grief and loss, this message is a very strong message about grief and loss. And then over here, I can see recent grief and bereavement posts. So she has various posts here that have to do with, how to be with someone who's grieving, how to navigate life in the workplace after a loss, that type of thing. And so if this is my issue, most likely something over here is going to pique my interest even more. I'm going to stay on the site longer and I'm going to read more. She also has down here her other blog categories so that I could also, hop around and read other things. Okay. She has a free report, and in fact, that free report on her homepage is at the top because her main thing is really grief counseling. So she has a free report, 4 ways to know you need help with your grief. And of course, I need to sign in with a name and email in order to get on that list. That would be something that I'd probably be pretty interested in if I were grieving forever and just couldn't get through it. Okay. So this is an example of some really good marketing assets that she has working on her site. It's a pretty warm site. It might be a little too busy for some people. It might not be. It just depends on taste. And again, it has a light background with darker type, which is a good thing typically. So that's one example. Then the next example is a totally different kind of site. This is a site that we did that was taken from another design that we basically ported over into WordPress. But again, she has top nav up here, navigation bar, and I didn't mean to click on anything, but then over here, she also has her specialties here. So again, immediately upon arriving, I can go to one of the pages and I can, be pretty I can get to exactly what I need to get to. So if I were to go to the anxiety page, I'm going to have a message that talks about anxiety, okay? And it's a very well written message. It's going to really meet me on many levels if that's my issue. And over here, she has a free report. In her case, I think she reused this free report several times. I don't think she's gotten around to having more specific free reports, and that's fine too. You can do whatever you need to do, but she also has her different categories of blogs down here. So if I were to click on the anxiety blog category, hopefully I will be able to see a. I don't really see another message. I see this message. So she probably needs to fix that and do some more blogging in that category. But that's the type of thing you want them to be able to stay on your site and read more. If they're taken by this message, they probably want to read more. So that's the first thing. And also notice that, in her case, she has FAQs, she does some supervision. In other cases, you're going to see other types of pages. Beth has the standard pages here. Maybe at the bottom she has something else. She just has privacy policy and terms of service. So she doesn't have extra pages. Some people will have plenty of extra pages. The next site is Kelly's, and this is Dr. Kelly Guthrie. She has a specialty in working with couples counseling for one, couples counseling, and then divorce counseling. So, again, very quick. I can see immediately which button to push, and I don't have to hunt around on her site to find something that really affects me and talks to me. So if I click on the couples counseling link, I'm going to go to a page that talks specifically about normal couples issues. Again, a really good message that meets me where I'm at. And she's going to have testimonials in her sidebar. That's how she's using it. Testimonials, and then recent posts. And these are going to be couples types posts that are in her sidebar there. So also up here, if I mouse over this, I can see those same 3 categories. If I go to the blog page, I can navigate within the blog to find different things I want. And there's categories, blog categories here, recent posts here, and there's all sorts of things that I can do to navigate around to see what I want. Okay, so that's one. Now this next site is actually the same theme as Kelly's site. So if we go back to Kelly's site and we go to the home page, you're going to see the similarities here. So that is the same theme as this one. Okay, now this one is maybe more corporate looking or whatever, because of, he does some work with families and business together. But it's the same theme. It just shows you how different they can be, just with color and font differences and the pictures being different, the buttons being a little different. Yeah, you can do a lot with a theme. So he has a home page here, and then on each one of these, basically he has, anxiety is one of his things. So if I click on anxiety, I'm clicking on the walking on the bridge, and he has a message here, and I can read about an anxiety and stress post. I can read, different things. I can go to different pages here. Okay, so that's another example there. Here's a more complicated site. This was a custom design site. It's pretty expensive, but I want to show you because it has different specialties up here in the nav bar that are quite disjoint. They're just all kind of all over the place, but these are the things she works with. And then under each of them, she may have more options. And so it's a pretty complicated site, a lot going on. But again, she also has the ability for me to navigate to these things with clicking on any of these. And if, for instance, I were to go to this pregnancy and postpartum mood disorders page, there's a message that talks to me specifically if that's my concern. There's also a free report. She actually has 2 on this page, but any of these are going to be like a screening test to see if I have pregnancy or postpartum mood disorders. That's going to be great, right? I'm going to want to know that if this is my concern. So I'm going to opt in here. She also has testimonials here. She has posts having to do with this. She has a lot of content, and she's actually cranking. She's getting quite a few clients. So this is just an example of how you want to do it. Okay, the final site I'm going to show you is quite different, and it's it's more simple and more plain, and it has a big nature theme going on. Let me see if I can actually refresh this so that this slider goes through the nature photos. So here it is. It goes through a bunch of nature photos. She's shamanic and very nature oriented. She's selling workshops right on the first page, so that may not be something you'll do. I want to also show you she has a free report here, but it doesn't exactly look like a free report because it's not a 3D image. Okay, so people may not really know that they're getting a free report here. So I think a 3D image does a much better job of inviting somebody to opt in to get it. But her site layout is much more simple. It's maybe not as advanced as some of those others, and it's preferable to some people to have it be this way. Okay, so that is that's an example of something that's quite different. She still has an offerings, and you can go into different options here. But it's quite, very different than the other sites I've shown you, just to show you there's a big range of things that you can be doing with your website. All right. So any questions, feel free to ask, and I hope that this video was helpful in giving you a taste of different things that you can do with your website, and also how to make your specialties immediately available and give people the option to go in and read deeply about their concern, and hopefully to also be able to read further into your blog and also get a free report if they choose to get on your list so that you can market to them going forward. All right, take care. Bye-bye.